Oh, What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Today is my co-host, JoJo.
So here.
How is Elden Ring, man?
It's kind of incredible. It's really, really good.
I heard it's very heavy. Very heavy, as far as, like, massive.
It's gigantic. I mean, early on, I was looking at the map and going south and thinking, oh, wow, maybe this world isn't so big. It was weird. And then, as you get more maps, the area, when you go to the map screen, zooms out. And you start to realize, oh, wait, no. What I thought was maybe the whole continent of the world is maybe 20% of it.
Wow.
Like, the game is gigantic.
That's huge. Damn.
Yeah.
And I heard something about some, like, 10-minute elevator ride, and it's just, like, a whole mind-blowing situation of, like, the world being built type deal.
Yeah, you realize there's, press the right stick down to show the underground map, and there's more down there. It's amazing.
Yeah, like I said, it's something I plan on picking up at some point. I don't know what I'll get around to it. Right now, I've been, obviously, New World, but besides that, I've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy VII Remake, trying to finish my run on hard, because I haven't done that yet. I just kind of stopped playing, because I had other things going on. And then also the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So, trying to get through that. Oh, man, I love that one, dude. It's so good. It's everything I wanted it to be. It really is. Because I love the Five Nights at Freddy's series, but, I mean, sitting in a fucking room just staring at cameras for hours on end, you know, sooner or later that just gets fucking boring, and that's how it was for fucking ever, yeah.
Made that game a time.
Although the one that I played for the channel was pretty fun, the Pizza Simulator one, because it was like you got to make your Five Nights at Freddy's. But it still had the Five Nights at Freddy's aspect, so you're like making like all these like terrible things, and like it was like you're building your pizza pit for these kids or whatever you want to call it, and then out of nowhere, like you could get super good deals from a mysterious vendor, and it's like it would be like half off, but it would be something that like would bring in a lot of money, like a pinball machine or something. And it's like, but it could come with something terrible with it. And so like I bought like a fucking, I think it was an air hockey table, and it was like something was hidden inside the air hockey table and is now running loose within your Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. And I was like, no fucking way, dude.
It's really silly.
Yeah. So then it gets back to the normal aspect of the game where you're sitting in a fucking room just waiting for something to come through these air ducts to come fuck you up while you're counting the money at night. So, yeah.
Is there a version of that game you can just not buy the air hockey table? And
you didn't have to buy it if you don't want to. Yeah, you probably could. That's what I should have done. That's what that should be a fucking Dead Funny series. Chris's successful pizza business within the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise.
Just rejects the premise of this video game.
Oh shit. But no, with Security Breach, it's open world, man. It's fucking open world. You actually check the security cameras on your watch as a kid. So you're just sitting there running around, and then like you can hide somewhere and then pull up your watch and you can check the cameras right quick and then put it down and fucking continue to keep moving. And it's a huge place. It's fucking massive. I still don't think I've been to every place in there yet. So, well, no, I haven't, because you can either choose. There's only one part in the game where you have to choose an attraction you want to go to. Now, I haven't beaten the game yet, so I don't know if you go to the other one or not. But you have to choose between laser tag or Galaxy Mini Golf, and I chose obviously laser tag. So who knows? So yeah, because you had to go either to laser tag to get the blaster gun, or you went to the Galaxy Mini Golf to get the quick flash camera, and those can help stun the animatronics when they're chasing you.
Okay. So
yeah, it was funny. I got the gun, and the duck animatronic was chasing me, and I just turned around and shot her in the eye, and she was like, "What the cluck?" And I was just like, "All right, I'm out." She just stands there like fucking shakes for a little bit, and then she starts moving again.
What ducks say?
I know, but that's what she said. It threw me for a loop first. I thought she said, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "All right, this is a different game. Let's go." But no, what she said. But yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. There's an animatronic that I am very excited about because he's definitely my new favorite. And I already told Kelsey, I said we will be doing a DFU class, just a class, on this specific game for Halloween because I want her to watch all the opening animatronic cinematics where you meet him for the first time. And this is the first time this guy's ever been made. And he's called Sun Moon. And he watches over the daycare kids. So the little ones. And what's cool about this game is like you're going around. So basically the premise is the place shut down. You're a kid that got lost and you weren't able to get on in time. So now all these animatronics are just fucking walking around and shit like that. And all these robot security guards and shit. And if they catch you, they'll fuck you up. So obviously you don't want to fucking get caught. And you're trying to stay out. Freddy is actually a hero in this game. He's trying to save you. So he's walking you through everything because you show up in his dressing room and he feels bad for you. It's like the other ones catch you, da-da-da-da-da. So you can actually use Freddy to get around certain places too. He does have like a very fast draining battery, so he's kind of fucking useless, but you can like crawl into his chest. Like his chest will open up, you crawl inside, and then he'll move around and then no one suspects you. But he's like he gives you this like Freddy Fazbear watch and like hooks it up to the entire like network security, so you're able to like check your watch to see the fucking security cams and shit like that. And like you'll find like these messages and stuff, and so you upload them into your watch. And so most of them are just complaints. Like literally most of them are complaints. And one of the complaints that I found before I went into the daycare was my son is absolutely terrified after spending a day in your daycare. He absolutely refuses to sleep with the lights off, and anytime he wakes up and the lights are off, he automatically wets himself. I would like to know what this is about. So you get into the daycare and you get into the ball pit. And you're in this ball pit and all of a sudden you just see this dude up top just come fucking nosediving directly into the ball pit. And then you take like 2 steps and he picks you up and grabs you and he's taking you out of the ball pit, and it's Sun. And he's all like, oh, we're going to have so much fun today. What do you want to do? Da-da-da-da-da. And he's just holding you and doing all this talking. So what you're supposed to do is he won't let you move. So you kick over something. He's like, oh, no, it's a mess. I got to clean it up. I got to clean it up. And all he keeps saying while he's cleaning it up is like, whatever you do, make sure not to turn out the lights. Don't turn out the lights. Whatever you do, don't turn out the lights. And so you go running and you see this security guard check in where you can upgrade your security badge and get you into more doors. So you go to do that and it blows the breaker. So then all of a sudden the lights go out and he jumps up on the fucking countertop and he starts screaming at you. And he's just like, no! And he starts like pulling at his face. He's like, what have you done? I told you not to turn off the lights. And then he just falls backwards and you don't see him. And then all of a sudden you just hear, naughty, naughty boy. And like the fucking, it's him, but his things have went back to where it's just solid circle around and the other half of his face is showing. So one half is the sun, the other half is the moon. And he's got like a fucking nighttime cap on and shit. And he's all like, it's
I'm looking at him
bedtime.
Right now.
Yeah.
He's a spooky looking dude.
He's fucking awesome. I was like, that's my new favorite animatronic, dude. He's fucking awesome. Like, oh my god.
Before they got like possessed by demons or whatever, you wouldn't design this for children? That's terrible.
I was like, yeah, that's who runs the fucking daycare. It's crazy. Yeah. Yep. Oh man, I love it though. It's so much fucking fun. So
is the Freddy, is he the same Freddy every time, or is he like
it's supposed to be? Well, it's not the same Freddy because I mean this is supposed to be like years later. So I highly doubt same Freddy. I just think it's a franchise that's like replaced the animatronics.
Right.
Some of them were fucked, but
now Freddy turned good, or if it's I'm a different robot who just looks the same.
I think they more look at it as Freddy turned good, if you will. Okay. Because like it's the cast of the animatronics grows, but there's like people who were a part of this cast that were part of the original Five Nights at Freddy, like Freddy for obviously, for instance, but like the Duck was from the first Freddy as well. So it's like the cast continues to move forward, and they just add people like the fucking wolf chick, she's new. And then they have like little Easter eggs of like dolls and stuff of some of the older animatronics that aren't in this game but were in the first ones and stuff like that. So it's like the same universe, if you will, but I think it's considered the same animatronics.
Okay, that's sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure it makes sense within the
realm of Five Nights at Freddy. Yeah. Although there is this one animatronic that I love and I want to get. There's apparently they came out with a pop of him, and I guess it was super limited. And his name is Helpy. Is the name of this animatronic, and he's just this white bear with like a pink face. He wears a top hat and stuff. And whenever you're building your pizzeria, he's the guy he's the little animatronic helping you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, and I actually have this on the fucking channel too, because I was playing, because I didn't know what it was. I'd played all the Five Nights at Freddy's, and then I was talking about it on a podcast, and somebody had messaged me and said, I never saw you play the simulator. And I was like, there's a simulator? So I looked it up, and it starts out as like this old school 2D arcade game. So you know the game where you're the fucking barkeep and all the mugs are coming down the fucking...
Yeah, it's a Tapper.
There you go, Tapper. Yeah, it's like that,
Yeah.
except that like Freddy messing with pizzas. But it's like really 2D arcadey. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So you're playing it, and then it just starts getting increasingly hard and hard and hard. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Then all of a sudden, like, it starts glitching, the whole screen's all fucking up, and then just all goes black. And it turns on, and it's an infomercial. And this dude's all like, are you tired of being broke? Are you tired of living at home with your parents? Start a Freddy Fazbear franchise today, and you'll be earning money in no time. And it's like this whole hilarious fucking infomercial that goes on for like 20 minutes. It's fucking hilarious. It's funny as shit. Like, I was dying laughing the whole time watching it. And even like the pictures and shit they were showing remind me like kind of like Fallout with their commercials and shit that they would do is what it felt like. Yeah, that's what it felt like. And so then you're starting your pizzeria. So you have this little helpy guy who's like telling you like, oh, you should buy this, da 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 da. And he's just like kind of in your corner, like fucking dancing and shit, just like hanging out. You know, kind of like the little paper clip that we used to have on fucking Microsoft things. Yeah, Clippy. Yeah. So, but here's the funny part. When you buy a new game, you can test try the game to see how it works. He does the test try for you. So I had bought what was called a ball or a pit of ball or a bucket of balls. And I was like, oh, well, they just pick them up and throw them at each other. Obviously, it's a fucking kid's place. No. They take a 2x4, nail it to the fucking nearest table, and the kids jump off the 2x4 and try to land in the bucket of balls.
Oh.
So I go to do it, and I miss the bucket of balls with Helpy, and he hits the ground, and his neck snaps. I was like...
Helpy.
I was like, it's not even Helpy. I was like, kids are going to be doing this. I'm going to get sued. I'm going to lose my pizzeria. Like, what? I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Yeah. But yeah, he just dies. And then it just fucking brings him back to life. And then you restart again. Like, fucking, I was like, what the fuck is this nonsense, dude? You get like 5 tries and then it kicks you out of the ball pit game.
Aw. You looks like you can get plush Helpy. That's available.
Yeah, that's available. But the fucking pop one, dude, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, man, this dude was like limited. I was like, I want to get a little pop of him on my desk. Because I don't really care for Five Nights at Freddy's like that much to get too much into collecting, but I'd get one to Helpy. I like Helpy. Yeah. I just liked it, dude, because it would be like while you're like waiting to see new stock and stuff come in, you'd be sitting on the menu and it'd be playing music and he'd just be like getting down and shit. I was like, dude, hell yeah. Let Helpy, let's go.
I can see the appeal. He looks nice.
Yeah, he's cool. He's not trying to bite your fucking face off. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, he could be the end of the game boss, you know? You think you're safe, and then you pull up your menu, and then Helpy just jumps out and fucking rips you to shreds.
Yeah, for some reason he's not in any of those other games, right? So.
He's in the last one now, so.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's like on like the save spots and stuff like that, and other things. So, still being, helpful. So.
Then he's probably fine.
Yeah.
So.
Although that was the funny part whenever the lights went out, whenever I blew the generator, there's a save spot right behind me. On the save spot just shows him walking down the street, and then he pulls out like a pink flag, and it's all like, saved, check mark. And then he just keeps moving, and then save, check mark to let you know that's a saving station. It's like, okay, cool. Whenever the power went out, it just shows him, and he like grabs his throat and starts like choking and shit, and then just falls down and dies on the road. And it's just showing him dead, it just says error on the screen. I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh man, it cracks me up, dude. That is good, man. It's a good game, and it's like at every hour at the top of the hour, just trying to wait and get out at like 6 o'clock. Every hour at the top of the hour, there's like a main animatronic that's just hunting you down to kill you, and she just knows where the fuck you're at. So you either have to get in Freddy and then get into a charge pod where she can't grab you in there, or you have to try to constantly just be running away from her until the hour passes. Yeah. Her name is Vanny the bunny, and she's just skipping around with a fucking butcher knife.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because why not, right? Yeah. So.
Why did they give the robot a knife? Who would do that? That's insane.
No clue. But it's a good game, man. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a good game. I got to finish it, but yeah, it is definitely a good one. I just don't have any other games I really care about. Like I said, Elden Ring, I know I'm going to put some time into, but fuck, I don't want to really, do that yet. You know?
Yeah, I mean it's an investment, man. That game is long,
Yeah.
huge.
And I've got so much New World shit I'm working on, so I'm just like, I'm not ready for that yet.
In a few weeks, that Final Fantasy game comes out. You can play that.
What Final Fantasy? Are you talking about
Stranger in
the?
Paradise.
Oh, I'm not fucking
Yes,
Change
dude.
from Paradise.
Yeah.
I thought that was already out. That's not out already.
No, not yet.
Oh,
They put out a
fuck.
last trailer for it. It's soon, I think.
I thought it was already out. I was looking into Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PC. They're charging $70 for that, by the way, to pick it up on the PC, because you get fucking the integrate DLC as well. Man, poor Square Enix, dude. I knew as soon as they released that shit on PC, we were gonna start seeing all sorts of naked Tifa and Aerith running around in the game. Did not take people long.
I
Did
mean,
not take people long.
people already had the technology. They
Yep.
already had their naked teeth.
Yeah.
Or, different ones maybe, but
But now Square Enix official, dude. Although I did see this one though that was really awesome where they changed Cloud's outfit, and I've seen some dumb Cloud outfits. I've seen some really stupid Cloud outfits, but this one was actually pretty cool. Where like they took away his pauldron, and his gloves were completely black, and his wrist guard that he has was completely black, and then instead of having his arm showing, it was chainmail. And instead of this being like a no sleeve sweater, it was a no sleeve just muscle shirt. The actual turtleneck was the chainmail as well. So it looked like it was black leather chest piece over the chainmail. Actually looked pretty badass. So it's like, all right. I can see that. I can see that.
I don't think that world has chainmail. I feel like
It
they're too
doesn't.
technologically advanced.
Yeah, it doesn't. Chainmail is definitely old school, but it still looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. No, a tad bit old school for sure. But hey, is what it is. But yeah, like I said, I've been playing the hard mode of that because I've been trying to beat that, and I got all the way to Hell House, and I remembered how much of Hell House was a fucking pain in the ass when I got to it
Yeah.
the first time. So then I was like, well, I'm not even looking forward to doing this on fucking hard. I was like, I'll get around to it sooner or later, and I've been doing it. I was getting my ass handed to me, dude. Like I was like fucking, I didn't know what to do. Like I was just constantly getting beat, and then it just dawned on me out of nowhere. I was like, well, I know when the shield is up, I need to hit it physical, and when the shield is down, I need to hit it with magical. And I wasn't paying attention to the fact of like whenever it would do that shit where it would open the door and suck you in and do a shit ton of damage and heal itself, that the shield was down. And so if I stayed on Cloud, it would suck in Cloud versus sucking in Aerith. And then I would just use Aerith to do fucking Thundaga and just fucking wreck the shit out of it. Didn't even think about that. Because then it automatically stops it from hurting Cloud. Like he takes no damage and it just shoots Cloud out. And it automatically puts it into, what do they call it? The fucking mode where they're like fucking waiting.
Like staggered or
staggered.
whatever.
Well, it was before stagger. I can't remember what they call it. Pressure mode. That's what it was.
Yeah,
It was pressure.
sure.
Yeah, because then you would pressure the bar up, and then it would go into stagger, and then you could fuck it up. So, yep. So I was like, wow, didn't even fucking think about that. And it was literally like, I've been fucking doing it for probably like a solid month, where I'd get on, try it twice, get off, and then da 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 da. It wasn't like I was doing it. I wasn't doing it like every fucking day or something. It would be like once like a week or something. I'd get on, play like 2 matches, couldn't do it, get the fuck off. And then it was just literally like 3 days ago. I was just sitting there, and I was all like, I'm such a fucking idiot. I wonder if this is going to work. And so I see him like pull Cloud in, and I just switch over to Aerith. Thundaga, bam, spits Cloud out, shit ton of damage, and he's under pressure. I was all like, oh my God. I could have been doing this the entire time. Beat it right away. As soon as I figured that out, wasn't even close. Beat it right away.
Nice.
So. But we'll see what happens. I hear Sephiroth is really fucking rough on hard mode, so.
I bet. Yeah, I bet all of it is.
I would hope so. I mean, he is the final boss, so.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm going to be really excited about another game coming out until 16. Like, I just have so much hype around 16. And I'm just ready. I'm ready for anything about it. Like, at this point, just fucking anything. It's been past a year.
Eventually, they'll say something, I guess.
Yeah. I'm ready for Yoshi P to come and bless my ears with, here's the release date, and here's a new trailer. Woot. That'd be great. So
maybe one day. Maybe it'll happen eventually.
We're supposed to hear something in spring, so that's what they said.
But we were supposed to hear something last year, I think, too.
Yeah, we were supposed to. It was 2021 will be the year of Final Fantasy 16 news, and the only thing we heard in 2021 was December 28th, 2021, when we heard COVID has drastically hurt Final Fantasy 16's production and has pushed it back by at least 6 months. You will hear from us in spring with more news on Final Fantasy 16. And now we're waiting for spring.
Yeah, they did a Final Fantasy 14 live stream recently, and it was like they're extending their development time on that now too.
Are
Like
they?
they were putting out updates every, I don't know, 4 weeks or something, or 6 weeks or something. Now it's like 2 more weeks. Please understand that actually it takes time to do this, and we're so tired.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how Yoshi P is fucking doing it, man. Like to run 14 and make 16 as well. That seems like that would burn him the fuck out. But I mean, at the same time, Japan has a completely different work culture than we do, where they work fucking, you know.
I mean, some of those directors, like Sakurai on Smash Brothers too, just like works all the time and hurts himself to like take a break.
Yeah. They work like 18-hour days over there and then fucking come home, sleep, eat, and then right back to work. So, and that's just normal.
And at least he's on, like Yoshi gets to, he's in charge of something cool, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's got perks,
out
but
in the world.
The people underneath him who work those same kinds of hours and shit like that, that's a different story. Or just people in Japan in general who work those fucking hours, which is like the majority of their fucking population is fucking crazy, dude.
If they're doing like up-resed versions of all the armor in Final Fantasy 14 finally.
Oh yeah, I remember saying that. Yeah,
they announced that and they're like, hey, but we can only do this a bit at a time. It's not going to be all one. So sometimes you'll be in a conversation with a dude and he won't look so good. So the other characters will look better. Please understand. So they love to say please.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know, man. This shit's nutty. Shit is nutty. Although I got super excited the other day. I was looking on SquareEnix.com and they haven't really seen any figures yet, but it doesn't matter. I'm like fucking... I have so many figures pre-ordered at this point, and I'm just waiting for them to come out. Yeah, I just paid for Rufus and Sephiroth. Rude came in the other day, so now I've got Cloud and Tifa. I've got, well, from the remake, I should say. I've got Cloud and Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, and Reno and Rude here.
That's a lot. That's a
and
lot
that
of dudes.
That doesn't include Cloud from Advent Children, Red 13 from Advent Children, and Vincent from Dirge of Cerberus, which I also have here. So now I've got Sephiroth finally on the way, and Rufus. And I think on pre-order I have Yuffie, Jessie, Red 13 from the remake, Aerith in her top dress, Tifa in her top dress. And I think that's it out of the actual figures. Then I also have a statue of Aerith in her top dress and a statue of Tifa in her top dress. Oh, my phone charger finally came in today too, so that was cool. Yeah, it's fucking badass, dude. It's one of those stand-up ones.
That's a lot of Tifas.
Yeah, dude. I love my Tifa, dude. I love my Tifa for sure. She's bae. So, yeah, it was just crazy because it's like I moved my bookcase the other day and I had just what I have here in a tote. And I was standing them up so that way they'd still be in their positions. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, it's like $3,000 right here. And the tote's like this big. I was like, really kind of puts it into perspective of how expensive this fucking hobby is. Like, it wasn't like a gigantic, I mean, the tote was literally like this big. And it just had the big figures in it. It didn't have my polygons in there, my music boxes, the video games. I went back and bought all the games. So like for Christmas, my mom got me the I didn't even know this existed until like the 2 weeks before Christmas, and then I pointed it out. She got it for me. Was there was a deluxe collector edition of Advent Children that I didn't even know about. So it comes in this big ass box, and it's got Cloud on the front. And you open it up, and it's got like all these different pictures of the characters as postcards and stuff. If you ever wanted to use postcards or something, like it's collector edition. I'm not gonna use it as a postcard, but I went back and started buying like all the games that I didn't have. So I went out and bought Crisis Core. And I've got that behind Aerith until they come out with a Zack figure, obviously. And then I've got the Steelbook to Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've got the Deluxe Edition box up there as well. And then the original box up there. And then I also have the original Final Fantasy VII up there. And then I also have the Steelbook box to Yuffie's Intergrade DLC up there. So yeah, now I'm just missing Dirge. I don't have Dirge. Which, by the way, people are selling that online for like fucking $80 on like Amazon and shit to buy brand new. So I'm having to go through fucking eBay. Can't find it at any one of my pre-played stores around here. That's where I got Crisis Core from. So
I mean, imagine that game didn't sell super great at the time because it wasn't good.
yeah, and now it's a collector's item. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Now there's.
Same thing with Crisis Core. I think I paid like fucking $40 for Crisis Core. I'm like, it's a fucking PSP. You know what I mean? Like fucking nobody's playing this.
Yeah, the PSP is like, which is like hard.
Yeah, nobody's
hard
playing
because
it.
none of those games are getting re-released either. Like,
yeah.
So the only way you can play that thing is via that PSP card.
Or an emulator.
Yeah, or an emulator. I guess I emulate PSP without too much trouble.
Yeah, that's the only emulator I have on my computer. That's how I played Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2. Yeah, because I was sitting there watching somebody on Twitch, and they were talking about doing a full Final Fantasy play. And I was like, oh, that's cool, because I was just randomly strolling through Final Fantasy 7 streamers at the time. And I was like, how do you plan on doing that? And he's like, oh, well, I got this PSP emulator, so it will give me the more nicer models, if you will, whenever they remade them for the PSP and then remade them for the DS, because that's on there as well. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, that's sweet. And then so he's like, yeah, I'm going to start tomorrow. You should come by and check it out. So I came by and checked it out, and he was playing 1. And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that would be really nice on the eyes for people who are more, graphics, you know, versus, me. I could play the fucking old school pixelated, but you're not going to be able to fucking tell what the fuck's going on. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so, yeah, he gave me, like, the link and shit to fucking download the PSP emulator and everything else. And so then I started my journey on that. So I played 1 and 2 on there. And technically, I could play Crisis Core now if I wanted to.
Sure.
And then Steam had that big... Oh, was it their last winter sale? I think it was their last winter sale. Square Enix was on sale for like 50% off, maybe 60%. It was like 60% off. And I bought every fucking title. Every title. I'm pretty sure my total was like $140, maybe $150. I bought 3, 4, all the DLC to 4, 5, 6, 7, because they had the after years with 4.
Right, sure.
I already owned 7, so I didn't even buy that. 8, remastered. 9, 10, 10-2, like all the fucking DLC for all of them. I bought all 3 of the 13s, because there's fucking 3 of those.
Yes.
And yeah, I even bought 15, because I don't have... The only thing I didn't buy was 11. That's the one that I didn't buy. Did you hear that they're actually going to take the story to 14 and turn it into a single player game?
Sort of, yeah. There's some dungeons already in the later expansions you can do that with also already. They're like retroactively fixing the old ones. So you can
That's
do
cool.
Alone. Yeah.
That's cool.
I just played through the first expansion and first part of the game. It's not like hard to get into a party for that stuff.
No, not at all.
People are fine. At least in my experience, like it's not a big deal.
I'll say that Square Enix probably has one of the best communities in gaming, like hands down in my opinion, as far as like online shit.
Heard scuttlebutt that some of the servers are shitty, I guess, but I'm on like an okay one, or something.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have your bad apples no matter what, but just comparatively, like for me to be able to jump into a game, because I made multiple characters on multiple different servers just trying shit out whenever I was first thinking about going into Final Fantasy 14. And then I started doing like my research on it, and just like for the most part, like everybody's like fucking positive, da 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 da. Like you can easily get into shit. People are more than happy to come back and run shit through for lower levels. I was just like, that's crazy. It's where like something like League or shit like that, just so fucking toxic, dude. World of Warcraft, another toxic one. Shit, New World to an extent there's some fucking toxicity that goes on in New World. That's crazy. Yeah, that shit's nuts. Made me fucking hate the last server we were on. We got merged from Dominora into Paralis, which fucking stupid name compared to Dominora in my opinion. But got merged into Paralis because our server was dying, and it was like they hated every company that came from Dominora. It was just constant shit talking the entire, and they were trash compared to us. It wasn't even close. Like when we first did our research on where we were going to go, we looked for one that was going to be a little bit more higher in PvP, but not by much. We wanted it to be somewhat balanced, but like that 60-40 split, right? And we got like right on the money. And so when we went over to Paralis, We had looked up their original stats, and I mean, it wasn't even close. They were like fucking 30% PvP, and then the rest PvE. So like, I got on there, and someone was talking about da 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 this, da 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 that, and I was typing in chat saying, you know, that I was from Dominora and all this other shit. And there were like 3 guys that were outside. They saw me chatting and just fucking started trying to fight me because I was just out there flag. Because I'm always flagged. Like, there's no point in not being flagged. I love PvP. So they tried to fight me. I shit on all 3 of them. Wasn't even close. Like, at the same time. I was like, oh my god. You kids are fucking bad. And the only thing I felt bad for, though, is like when we decided to leave. Because we didn't merge. We decided to leave. And we all went to Castle of Steel. Is the server that we're on now. And it's super fucking populated. Super fucking active. Which is awesome. There was like this one guy that saw these companies leaving. So he posted in the Paralysis Discord. And it was like this fucking thesis paper about how Paralysis is still live and no one should be leaving. And this is the reason why Paralysis is one of the greatest servers. And he posted that. So then I went and looked, and it was like, out of a server, you can have a total of 2,000 people online as the cap. To give, we'll talk about Paralysis first. Paralysis peak over the last 2 weeks that we were on it. We were only actually on it for 2 weeks anyway. But Paralysis peak was 460 players at their peak, which isn't bad. Dominor was like at like 280, so we were dying. Yeah. But once again, that 280 came to Paralysis, so I'm pretty sure like half of that was Dominor.
Right, they just put the 2 shittiest ones together.
Yeah, instead of fucking what they should have done, which was take us and Paralysis and merge us into Kalnagor, which only had 900 active players. Because then that would have been 200. You're still underneath the 2,000 cap. You don't have to worry about queue times. And now you have a server that has 1,200 people playing.
That would make sense. That sounds right. Yeah.
It would make sense, you know, but fucking AGS is a different beast. And now Kalnagor is a dead server because fucking they didn't transfer anybody over there. And so they just slowly started dying off. And people got the fuck out, just like we did. We fucking left. Like, once we heard that the big yellow company was leaving, they had like 200-something players. I was like, we're not sticking around and getting locked on a dead server. We're fucking leaving. So we all hosted an emergency company meeting. And by the end of a 8-hour stressful hair-pulling situation, I had the half of my company that was all active transferred over to Castle of Steel and back into the company. So all the money transferred over, everything, all of it. So that was stressful. Although we made this joke. So there was this guy I recruited. His name was Jackson, and it was the first person I ever recruited into Soldier that wasn't like my friend. It was just a random guy. Is when we finally made the decision that Soldier's going to try to go for a territory. Soldier's going to try to be something. Let's go ahead and fucking make Soldier into something. And so I fucking recruited this guy. He accepted the invite, said he was excited to sign up, logged off, and never logged back on.
Nice. Yeah.
So he's been offline for 100+ days at this point. When we were leaving the company, I think it was like 180 days. And the running joke was that whenever anybody would, like, because we all talk shit, we're all shit talkers in there, so we all talk shit. So the running joke was that they'd be like, oh, you know, somebody's talking shit, I want to launch a complaint. I'd be like, well, fucking take it up with our HR rep. He's been offline for 180 days, but he'll get back to you whenever he gets online. And so that was the running joke. And so whenever we went to go leave, I was like, oh no, we're going to have to leave Jackson behind. So I made sure that whenever I kicked everybody out of the company, I kicked him out last because you have to have a console if you have 2 people in there. So it made him a console, which is right underneath governor. So it's one of the highest spots somebody can be. And then I took a screenshot and put it in the Soldier Discord under the Hall of Fame. One of the greatest players to ever play in the Hall of Fame.
Aw, Jackson.
Yep, Jackson was in there. Offline for 186 days at that point. It's literally what it says. Jackson, and then whatever his last name was. Level 15. Didn't even make it past level 15. Console of Soldier. Offline for 186 days.
I accidentally did that to a Final Fantasy 14 guild I'm in, or whatever they call them, free company, I think.
Yep.
Whereas when I was playing the game last time I played the game, like a year ago or whatever, I got randomly invited to one of the guild, and I was like, sure, yeah, why not? And then I think the next day was when I just happened to stop playing in the game. I was still in it when I went back to the game, and now I'm like one of the only active players.
Yeah, he would have still been in if I could have just took the company with me, but you can't. So that's not how it works. No. But we got the majority of us over. But no. So back to the numbers. So yeah, he was doing his whole like boohoo sob story about how Paralysis is still one of the most active servers, and we need to fucking keep it moving, keep it active. And, like, I got where he was coming from. I didn't want Dominor to die. Like, I had built such a community there. Like, we were all friends. Like, I mean, there were so many people that we were friends with, and no one wanted the server to die, because if we went to another server, some people might leave and go to a different one. Some people might stay. Some people might just stop playing. Like, no one wanted Dominor to die. Like, I made so many friends, and I hated seeing it die, but it was what it was. So I got where he was coming from, but it was just funny because like all these numbers he was spitting out were just inaccurate. Wasn't even close. Yeah. So he's like, it's the number one server that's active on the US East servers. And it's like, okay, well, that's not true. Let's go look at O-Run. Go fucking pull up O-Run, and like that thing has like 3-hour queue times of people trying to get in because they have that many fucking players on that server. Their server is locked. No one's allowed to go over there. They actually just recently locked us too in Castle of Steel. So no one else can come over to Castle of Steel. And because we were getting up there. So it was like he had said that, and then one of my guys who replied to him was all like, yeah, you guys are your active players are by far one of the lowest on the USC servers. And he's all like, Castle of Steel is the lowest. And so like he pulled up the facts, and it's like Paralysis top peak over a 2-week period was fucking 480, and our lowest over a 2-week period was like 780. And that it was like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's a complete delusion. Like,
yeah, that's 100% what it was, dude. It was just he didn't want people to leave. He liked his server and didn't want to see it gone, which I don't blame him. Like I said, I was in the same boat. I took a picture of the fucking map for nostalgia before we left of like, this is what we accomplished, because we owned 2 territories at the end. Like, we accomplished a lot. I was proud of what we accomplished. And it was gone. And I posted it in the Dominor Discord, and then 3 days later, they shut down the Dominor Discord. And I was like, you motherfuckers. I mean, I still have the picture myself, but yeah. But, I mean, some of the companies that we played with on Dominor, we strategized with and moved over to Castle of Steel with as well. So we still have allies and stuff like that, but it is a different situation where, like, shit is really popping on the server. Like, I mean, Dominora, when we took over Weaver's Fen, which was our second location, we were praying that somebody would come and try to take Weaver's Fen for us just so we could have a war. I was like, even if we lost, I don't care. Like, Weaver's Fen was a shithole. I was paying like $6,000 a week in taxes at that place, and we were barely making that back. Like, barely. Like, no one gave a fuck. The company that owned it before us ran it into the fucking ground, had all the prices all the way up to the max, so people just stopped paying their taxes, sold their houses, got the fuck out. Like, no one was there anymore. So I was like, I'm more than happy if somebody wants to come fucking take Weaver's Fen from me. Like, that's fine. Because, like, we owned Monarch's Bluff for, like, ever until that server died. And we were making $124K a week off of Monarch's Bluff alone. So, to give you a little bit of a comparison.
I didn't know there's a complicated property tax.
Oh, yeah. Property tax, trading tax, refining tax. And only the people who deal with it are the people who own the territory. So the company that owns territory, the governors and the consuls can work together and figure out what they want to do for the taxes and shit like that. So if you live in for instance, one of the things that happened on our server, Dominora, before whatever, was that Purple had took Reek water from Green. Kraken, who is known as a very toxic company, I don't think that there's some Kraken that are toxic. There's some that are very, very nice. But the toxic half of Kraken decided that they were going to take Reek water back because they could. Green was the strongest. So they took it and they let Purple hold it for a little bit. Then they took it and knew that a whole bunch of Purple houses were there because that was Purple's new home base. And then they raised all the taxes up through the roof. So then you go from paying like 200 gold a week for your house to 1,200 gold a week for your fucking house. And it's like, well, shit. So you can just choose not to pay your taxes. That's fine. But then you can't use it to teleport there. You don't get any of the buffs that are going on in the town because your house is inactive. Like, there's a lot of things. If you have trophies in your house that give you buffs for PvE and stuff like that, those aren't active. So, you know, there's a reason to have an active house, and then there's a reason not to. So, I mean, you can have 3 houses, so, at one time. But, yeah. So people do that. I mean, I thought the fucking taxes on Paralysis were whack as fuck. It was crazy, like, how much they were charging for things. I was like, this is how your server is? I was like, good God. But yeah. And then also, to be fair, I mean, I came from having Monarch's Bluff to not owning Monarch's Bluff anymore. So because Marauders owned Monarch's Bluff, I already got a discount for having a house there. Then on top of that, my company specifically owned Monarch's Bluff, so I had an even bigger discount on top of that. So I mean, I had the highest house you can have, which is 20 grand. I think I bought it for 14K because of all the discounts, and then my taxes were supposed to be like 800 a week, and I only paid like 200. So
is it like finite housing? Is it like there are specific houses you purchase, or is it like instanced? You can have infinite houses anywhere.
Oh no! So basically, like the way it works is that the house itself is an instant. Yes. So
Okay.
and whoever does the best job at decorating their house, like whenever you're decorating your house, it gives you points for the amount of things that you have in your house. So whoever has the most points, their house is the one that's showcased to the public. Whoever's in first place. So there's kind of like a leaderboard system, so you can even compete within the houses and shit too. Like, oh, I'm gonna fucking make my house look good. Now it's one of the things that we did on Dominora when we were trying to get it to not die. We were trying to bring back like PvP players and maybe people who aren't on Dominora. So this company that we worked really close with, Diopside, was doing house rating challenges, where it was a tournament. You paid to get into it, and then they had one of their guys go and rate your house. And he was really funny about it. He would fucking talk shit, stuff like that. And he had two that were really fucking good that I was dying laughing at. We had this company called Battle Sheep, which was a very, very small company. They only knew each other in person. They didn't care to... they didn't want to recruit, so they never grew, but they owned a territory. And no one would take it from them because they just didn't care. Like, no one wanted the territory, Restless Shore. So they never did anything with it. And... their leader's name was Pew, and so the fucking dude was looking through the house, and the dude that was looking through the house, his name was OSHA violation, so it makes it even funnier. But OSHA was reviewing Pew's house, and he's like, "Wow," he's like, "Your house is just like your leadership of or just like your leadership over Restless Shore. Fucking pathetic." I was like, "Let's go." Gave him like a 2 out of 10. I was like, "No way," and then. Because that was the place they had was Restless Shore. And then he was looking up at my buddy Zarni. And he's all like, "Zarni, it looks like you tried to be a war criminal. But you also live in Restless Shore, so you didn't make enough money to complete your set." I was like, "Oh my god, dude." It was funny. So we tried doing that to get some people. His stream got hyped, though. There was like 85 fucking people watching it. Mainly all people from Dominora wanting to see their fucking house getting raided. But,
Right, yeah. So that's fun.
Yeah. So we used to do fun, cool shit like that, but I don't know, man. It's an interesting situation. They're coming out with some updates that are definitely good for the game and breathing a new life into it, but I don't know, man. It's getting rough. It is getting rough. I'm worried that New World's not going to stand the test of time, and that a couple years down the road, it's not even going to be a thing anymore. So
yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
It's not probably attracting a lot of new people at this point.
No, and they're fixing those.
Vibe around it.
Yeah, they're fixing that, which is good. The biggest thing on why new people don't want to come play, and it's honestly why I haven't like really advertised it to any. I mean, I don't even advertise it on the channel as far as like, yeah, come fucking hang out with fucking us on New World. You can come join Soldier and hang out with one of your fucking YouTubers. Da 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 da. Like, I don't even do that because it's like the grind from 1 to 60 is so fucking long. Like, I mean, when we jumped on when we jumped on Lost Ark, you start out as a level 10. I played that game for like 2 days and I was already like level 40. Like, ease. And it wasn't like hardcore grinding. It was very casual. Like, I got on for like 4 hours one day and then like 6 hours the next. That was it. So, and I'm already like a fucking 40. Like, I think for New World, they said that the average grind for a casual player to get from 0 to 60 is 33 days. That's a lot for a casual player. For when your game is marketed, that the game doesn't actually start until you hit 60.
Sure.
That is a long fucking grind for casual players. So I think Kelsey would absolutely love New World because I know she loves the fucking the fucking RPG aspect of things. I know she loves the fucking medieval shit. She'd be able to, like, it's a lot more of an intense game due to the fact of, like, she likes the wizard stuff. She likes the magic stuff. Like, you actually get to get really in tune with that shit. She would love it, but she would never be able to do anything because of how long it would take her to get to 60. Right. And that would make her fall off instantly. And that's one of the reasons why I've never, like, tried to pitch it to her, because I'm like, I would want her to play it when they get that fixed. So they're working on making it to where, because you get from 0 to 20 pretty quickly, but it's like once you hit 25, it is a fucking slow mover. And I mean, once you hit 50, I mean, it takes fucking forever, dude. It takes fucking forever to hit 60. It's crazy. And then it's like now at this point in the game, once you hit 60, that's not good enough anymore. So now you're 60. Now you need to get your gear score and your expertise, your watermark gear score from 500 to 600. Then once you get that, now you're on the new grind, which is the grind that I'm currently on, which is that you have to go and run all these mutated dungeons and shit, which are fun. Don't get me wrong, super stupid fucking. We just got through running mutators the other weekend, so we hosted a let's get drunk, or let's go get drunk and lost in a dungeon is what we called it. So we drank all Saturday night, and we're up to like 5 o'clock in the morning running dungeons back to back to back to back, and it was so much fucking fun. But we were running mutators, and those are fucking hard. So you start out at M1, and you can go as high as M10, and you can't move on to the next mutator until you've beaten the current one on gold. So you got to get the best time. It's like, I think like 35 minutes. Anything past that, you start getting time penalties. People dying, you get penalties for that. So on and so forth. So you got to try to make it your best run. And we got all the way up to M8 and got gold by 20 seconds. If anything would have happened, one fucking mistake that would have cost us 20 seconds, we would have got silver. And we wouldn't have got gold. So we got gold. And so we're like, fuck it. Let's fuck around. Let's go see what M9's all about. Because, I mean, M10, like, people sell their M10 orbs like a slot. Because 5 people can go into a dungeon. They're like, hey, I got a DPS slot for like fucking 40K. Like, people pay 40K to come show up to a dungeon. It's that fucking intense. And we went to go get on M9. Bruh. We didn't even make past first enemy. Not boss. Enemy. Like, I'm running straight past him. I've got 300 strength, 200 con, shit ton of, I think I have like 13K health. He looked at me and tapped me with his spear. My dude just like fucking killed over. I was like, what just happened? Wow. Oh, it's fucking insane, dude. But it makes you really strategic on how you tackle things, how you play things. And it's a lot of fun. So much fun. But it's like, even doing that, I think they said the Umbral grind is, oh God, what did they say the Umbral grind was? It's like fucking 3 to 6 weeks, I think, for casual. No, I feel like the Umbral grind was the lowest. I just fucking posted it in our guidance and resources for everybody to see. Okay, so levels 1 to 60, gear score from 1 to 500 takes 3. It does for hardcore gamers and casuals. So for hardcore gamers, you can get it done in 3 days. If you literally do nothing but New World, you can get it done in 3 days. If you're casual, you'll get it done in a month.
What do they think casual is? Like, how long is casual?
Casual's getting on and playing for like anywhere between 2 to 4 hours a day.
Okay.
They consider that to be casual. Yeah, that's a long fucking grind. That would be a Kelsey to me. And that's every day. So that's less, or Kelsey wouldn't even do that. Gypsum grind, which is getting your gear score from 500 to 600 and your expertise from 500 to 600, 3 to 8 weeks. Then the grind that I'm currently on, which is called the Umbral grind, getting from your gear score from 600 to 625 is 2 to 5 weeks. So.
And they want to keep people subscribed. I get why it takes a long time, I guess.
Well, it's not a subscription-based game.
Oh, right. Okay, they just want people playing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just want the servers not to die. Exactly.
Population. Yeah.
So, but we're getting, I mean, the quality of life patch that we got, I think a lot of good things happened. Some bad things happened. They spent the entire, they literally said February is going to be bug smashing. That's all we're doing for February. We're not releasing any new content. It's all bug smashing. And they released a progress report. Bro, that thing was fucking pages long. So I give them props for that, because that couldn't have been easy to look at how much shit was wrong with your game and openly admit that to your players. They counted up over 786 bugs that they smashed out of the game. 786. And they did. The majority of the shit that they said they were getting out of the game, gone. I would say, if I had to put a ratio on it, 90% of what they said they were going to get rid of is gone. Yeah. Some of it is still there in different ways than it used to be. So, like, the biggest one that a lot of people hated was the weapon swapping bug. You'd be in the middle of fighting and you'd hit your weapon to swap, and it would look like your dude would do the animation, but then they actually wouldn't, and you would still have the same weapon out because it was so fast. So they put in a queue system. I'm not sure the queue system was the way to go. So, for instance, whenever you do your moves, it's going to be queued up. So, like, let's say if I'm running at you, me and you were fighting, and I would go to hit you with my Path of Destiny, but you stunned me. In the old system, I would be stunned, then I'd get out, and then I would get to choose what I want to do next. Now it's I get stunned, but I've already hit Path of Destiny, so that's queued up. So as soon as I'm unstunned, you might not even be there anymore. My dude's doing Path of Destiny, whether I want it to happen or not. Yeah. So they tried it. I don't think it's gonna stay. They're trying. At least they're trying. That's the problem. That's the point. At least they're trying. Yeah, they smashed all those bugs. The next update that we're getting is going to be a breath of fucking fresh air. So many of the OPR changes are going to change, which is great. It's called Outpost Rush. It's 20v20 PvP, and there's PvE elements in it as well, where, like, for instance, people can go chop down trees and get ore and build up the bases that you take over to make it harder for the other people to come take it back. That's that one gameplay I told you about where how many forts you have is how many points you get a second. The more you hold, the more points you get up. First one 1,000 wins. You can also kill mobs and summon like beast and shit to like guard your fucking base and stuff like that too. Or you can summon it as an attacking beast on the other person's base and fuck them up, and then come over there and take it over. One of the biggest issues that I've had with OPR for the longest time is that if me and you are fighting and I down you, that should be it. You're done. You're dead. But I can down you, and then I'm still in the animation of swinging this big, heavy axe and then bringing it back. And in the moment of doing that, some asshole with a musket or a spell has done shot you and killed you, and I don't get the kill. I don't get the count for that at all. I'm like, there should be no down system in OPR. Like, they should just die. Like, there's no reason. Like, open world PvP makes sense. You're out there, you're with your buddies, out of nowhere, these guys show up, you got to fucking fight, you kill one of them, you get down, but they can't get over there to get you, your buddies ends up knocking another one of them down, while they're fucking with them, somebody comes, picks you up, makes total sense. That I agree with. OPR, you're literally just fucking every melee out of getting a fucking kill. Every single time. Every single time. So they're changing that to where there's no down state in OPR whatsoever. You automatically die straight out the gate. Which is good. So... But yeah, and then we're going to be getting they did this whole thing where they're all like try to guess what we're going to be doing with or it was spoiler alerts with no context is what it was. Yeah. So one of them was like a dude and he's holding something and they had like an emote in front of it, but you could easily tell it was a gun. So it's like, okay, there's the blunderbuss. We knew that was coming. And then another one was the chick Isabella. She's like the leader of the corruption. It showed her, and we knew that the next expedition was going to have her in it because we didn't get to kill her in the first one. So, or not the first one, because you got Aramine. These are the dungeons. Aramine, Starzone, the Depths, Dynasty. That's where she's at. And you fight her to about half her health and then she leaves. And then you do Genesis and Lazarus. So 6 dungeons. To where now we're going to get the dungeon where we're actually going to go kill her. So that expedition's coming. And then the last one was the Spider-Man meme, the cartoon meme, where it's all 3 of the Spider-Man pointing at each other. Yeah, exactly. So they had that, but it was all the factions pointing at each other. So fucking them all doing that. And everybody was like, it's so dumb. The number one comment I constantly kept seeing was, oh, we're getting a new faction. I hope it's going to be blue. I'm like, no. We're getting new territories, and that's them fighting over new territories. Like, come on. Like, that's so fucking obvious. And so I said that to somebody, and they go, you really think that? I was like, that? Or if I'm going to pick a dumb answer like you did, I would say we're getting Spider-Man outfits in the game.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, well, the
that's how dumb
Spider-Man
that
meme
is.
implies just Spider-Man recognizing himself as a different Spider-Man, so it's like, it seems to suggest that all the factions are the same now, or something.
I think it's just all them fighting.
The yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just fighting over new territory is what it is. So I think with this new expedition, we're going to get the data mined aspect that we saw of where the entire map is basically doubled with this whole new territory that's coming out. So yeah, it's fucking huge, dude. Like they've been doing a lot of stuff that they've been tweaking that I think have been leading up to this because they know that they're getting ready to release that map. And like one of them is Azoth cost. Like you could travel from the very top of the right to the very bottom with nothing on you, and you're still going to spend like 200, maybe 300 Azoth. Now, the highest you're going to spend on Azoth traveling across the map is 20. And the lowest you could spend is 1. So, they definitely been tweaking with shit, and I think that's why, because they're getting ready to drop that. So, which I'm kind of upset about, I'm not going to lie. I really wish that they would spend a lot more time polishing the game before they drop DLC. I think if they were to take their time, polish up the game really fucking well, let whatever dies off, even if the game dies. They need a Final Fantasy 14 style revival, and I think this could be a hardcore contender in MMOs moving forward.
Because it's just different. A hard sell because Final Fantasy 14 is Final Fantasy. So
it's Final Fantasy, exactly.
Care about that, has some legacy. Like if New World dies, like
there's nothing behind it.
Someone who's not a New World player is not like, oh, cool, it's back.
Yep.
Do I care?
There's nothing behind it. But I mean, like I said, they have something special that no other MMO has, and I think that like losing that would really fucking suck. Like really suck. Like the whole
for sure.
The whole fucking warring aspect, the 50v50, the taking over fucking territories and shit, and constantly like back on Dominor, like hardly anybody was fighting for territories near the end of it, obviously, but on fucking Castle of Steel, every territory is going to war every fucking night. Like that's how the game is supposed to be. Constant territory flips, constant this, constant that. Like that's how the game is supposed to be. So, but oh well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, dude.
I wish it luck.
I do too. I do too. I really do. I mean, at this point, I spent like 150 hours in the game, so I really hope that it hasn't even been a month yet. I mean, a year yet, and
It's been a month.
It's definitely been a month.
Yeah,
but it hasn't even been a year yet, and I'm already at 150 hours. So I'm really hoping that it pulls through. But we'll see what happens. Oh well, but we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. We're already over time. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you get notified next time we upload a video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and views on some of the stuff we talked about. If you've picked up Elden Ring, if you're liking Elden Ring, if you're thinking about picking it up and want to hear JoJo talk a little bit more about it to sell you on it, that's something else we can do as well.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about it. I don't have time for it right now, unfortunately. So it'll be something I'll wait for. I've always been a Dark Souls fan. I mean, I've played all the Dark Souls, and I mean,
this is extremely Dark Souls. It is Dark Souls in like a Breath of the Wild, gigantic open world.
There you go, exactly. So, but yeah, we also have our Twitch, Twitters, all that fun stuff down below. You can hit us up on that as well, and the merch link as well. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.